Okay, let's see. Is that an avalanche?
Yeah.
Nice.
What up? What up? What up? What up? I feel like Martin.
You sound like him.
Welcome everybody to the Fear the Hive Podcast, episode 51. Man, 51 episodes. I am Dom, and here are
51.
our two co-hosts, Steven and Jason. What's going on, guys?
Good
What's
evening.
up? No, I feel like Martin.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. Yeah. So we have a great show, great packed show for you today. Ugh, I'll be tripping on my words sometimes.
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 Yes.
So for
Yes.
some of us, we are just freshly out of a hurricane. Others are dealing with international attacks, and also inflation is about to hit an all-time high, given the certain circumstances. And then we also have married life questions.
Okay.
And then, of course, Are You Not Entertained? Where we bring you guys everything that we're watching and things that you should watch or our basis for watching a certain show. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. Jason, how did you fare during the hurricane, man?
You know what? It wasn't too bad up here in the triad. Well, can't talk. Excuse me. Me. It wasn't too bad. We did get a span of rain that just opened the floodgates.
Oh my!
Maybe too soon for me to say that, but that's the term I'm going with. I was actually sent home early because I was at work.
Yeah.
Power outage, road being washed away. It got bad within the couple of hour span that the storm hit here in the Durham Raleigh area. A lot of flooding.
Sounds about right, especially for the Raleigh Durham area.
Yeah.
Well, here in the Charlotte area, not so much. Mostly, winds, rain, trees falling over, hitting power lines. Some people were out of power for 24 to 48 hours, like my brother, who's down on the south side of Charlotte. He didn't have power until I think it was like Sunday. Yeah. Where I'm at, elevation is a little bit higher, so drainage kind of just flows. It's not really a big deal here. Unlike Asheville, Chimney Rock, and some of those other Appalachian cities and towns where they're still underwater, and a lot of aid has been sent up there to help them out, and people being rescued. From what I understand, the death toll is at like 10 people, and 1,000 people are about missing.
Dude. So I don't live in Charlotte or in North Carolina anymore. However, I was talking with my parents because they were in Charlotte over the weekend. You know where the Calabridge Walmart is, Dominique?
Off of 16? Calabridge Commons?
Yes. Yeah. You know all those houses behind there?
You mean the old folks home? The old folks, the retirement community?
Bro, not just that. Okay, so if you go up Mahaly Huntersville Road, there's a community. There's a bunch of communities that back up to the lake.
Right.
The community behind the Walmart is flooded.
Ooh.
Like 6 feet flooded. Well, not 6 feet flooded. It was like 5 feet flooded. It was flooded out. Parts of South Charlotte, Riverside Drive, Mountain Island community, flooded. Like flooded. And keep in mind, in the Charlotte area, the dams that feed Lake Norman and the other rivers, they had to open for fear of failure.
Yep.
Right. All right. Welcome everyone. If you're here, definitely send us a message. Let us know you're here. We'll interact with you and etc. However, yes, exactly. The Mountain Island Lake, they had to open up the dam. So, like there was flooding in Charlotte,
legit flooding,
like
controlled
legit
flooding.
Like, I hope you got flood insurance. Flooding, like FEMA disaster flooding, and that's to say nothing of everything west of north and west of Charlotte. So
that's crazy.
Like,
oh yeah, that's.
I actually got some updated numbers on the death toll. Sadly, 77 total deaths in North Carolina alone, 36 in South Carolina, 25 in Georgia, 14 in Florida, 8 in Tennessee, and 2 in Virginia.
And they have to say
an hour ago.
That's right, and you have to say that because they really, for people that have never been to Asheville or never been to Blowing Rock or to Black Rock or to Chimney Rock or to Boone, right? Those are on mountains, right? Yeah. And for the most part, these large highways are on the sides of the mountains, right? And what we've seen from social media is there's so much flooding in the mountains of North Carolina, 200 miles away from the shore, 2,000 feet up in the air, that highways like I-40 in between Tennessee and North Carolina, Tennessee and Asheville, like the west side, the eastbound side of the highway is just gone. Like it's closed, right? And that's a big trucking. Yes, because of massive mudslides, right? Massive rain, massive mudslides. There are all these videos and social media of people that are watching mudslides come on the highway through their neighborhood, through their community. And if that wasn't the worst part, you got that, but then you also have the mud that's left over after the mudslide because it carries with it debris,
sediment.
And so it's dude, and it's just there. So you end up having to have tractors to push it all off. Yes, half of I-40 dropped off the island, outside of the mountain, because it's so much. It's a once in 100-year situation.
Yeah, well, but also like when you have mountain towns like that, you pretty much create like a valley, and drainage doesn't really happen in valleys. So, and that's really what happened in the case of Katrina. New Orleans is pretty much in a valley, and that's why they have all those I forget what they call them.
Levees.
Levees.
Yeah. Well, New Orleans it's under sea level. Right. That's why they have the dams and the levees to keep the water out. Yeah. And then the levees fail.
And then floods are just interesting in and of itself because of the fact that, like how Jane says, the Wendy's and the McDonald's restaurants are totally and completely submerged. Like, imagine going to your local McDonald's and it's like, 6 feet deep water. Like that's crazy.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Ain't no imagining because you're not leaving the house, right? Okay, let's quantify how bad it is. It was so bad that the Waffle House in the area boarded up and did not open. Okay, for people that do not know, a Waffle House is the barometer of how bad a storm is going to be, because Waffle Houses stay open unless they absolutely have to close. And they have, I think, in my opinion, some of the best weather people on the face of the planet, because they know exactly how bad a storm is going to be, and they want to stay open to maximize the dollar because they know people are going to need food. That's just how they go. And if a Waffle House closes, it's serious. They boarded up the Waffle Houses. And I'm glad that they did, because there was flooding. I've seen so many videos and pictures of water everywhere, like 3 feet high in Walmart, 6 feet high going down the street. There's a video of Asheville, a before and after video that showed like 3 feet worth of debris on the street as it was happening, just pushing down the street.
Yeah,
people's houses floating away. I'm like, yo, prayers up for the survivors and for the people that are donating, and for the people that are working. Like it's major. Major.
Yeah, the linemen, the guys that work on the power lines, they are the real heroes right now, trying to restore power out to everybody.
The helicopter workers are trying to get these people. There are people that were trapped in hospitals that could not get out because they're like, for a large portion of those areas, there's no road that you can traverse to get out, right? Right. It's like having a cul-de-sac and somebody gets in a wreck at the front of the cul-de-sac. There's no way to get out.
at one point they shut down all major roads in and out of Asheville. So it's like you were just stuck.
Yeah, you have to go to the west and get
What do you mean? What do you mean? At some point, up until recently, up until I think it was this morning, when they were successful in clearing debris, right? Because you got to clear debris, but you also have to test to make sure that the road that you're on doesn't slide away, right?
Yeah.
Oh, where speaking of the animals, one of my friends, his parents are safely in Europe right now. They decided to take a vacation when all this happened, but their dog that they left boarded. My friend said they found the dog like 10 miles down the road because alive. The boarding house that they put the dog in closed. Just left them.
What?
Just left all the dogs.
It happened so fast. It's hard to grasp, right? Yeah, it's hard to grasp. First of all, there was no forecast that said that the hurricane was going to go where it went. I watched it for weeks. My parents were traveling, and I told my parents, "Hey, as long as you make it through Montgomery by this time on Friday, you'll be good." Okay, I made it through Montgomery, but then it took an eastward turn, right? Dude, these people were unprepared, and it's not like they were trying to be unprepared. But there was nobody was like, it's coming your way, so get out. And by the time it was coming their way, people were trying to get out. But if you ain't prepared to leave,
it's too late.
I mean, think about it. If we got an alert right now to your phone, and it said that hurricane force winds have shifted in your direction, you need to be out. You need to evacuate in 2 hours. Could you do it? Could you assemble your family and all of the belongings that are important to you and evacuate?
No.
While there is wind and rain coming, because you got to remember, they're not evacuating on a Sunday day. They're evacuating while there's a hurricane coming.
Yeah. And then on top of that, when in that kind of situation, when everybody gets that alert and does the same thing, all you do is just hurry up to a traffic jam anyway, because everybody's trying to get out.
That's also assuming you can get gas. My parents drove from Atlanta to Charlotte. Well, from Conyers, Georgia to Charlotte. We'll talk about Conyers in a minute. But Lavonia, actually. But they had to stop 5 times to be able to find a place that had gas and whose line wasn't a mile long. And that was on Friday.
So I wish for
it ain't just about getting out.
I wish for situations like that there was a way that gas stations could report whether they actually had gas or not into a central place that everybody could see and say, okay, well, I'm going to stop here. They don't have gas. Instead of
I use Gas Buddy.
They do that. Oh, well, it's crowdsourced. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
It's the closest I've found. I'm sure there are other ones. It's the closest I've found to having an actual accounting.
I'm sorry. What is the gas station again?
No.
It's an app.
Gas Buddy.
No,
Gas Buddy's app.
What is gas again?
Oh, come on.
Wait.
You know what? What would you do since there's no power?
Thank you. Thank you. Tell me something about what is gas? Gas ain't nothing on day that gas everything on day 1, right? There's nothing on day 1. By day 3, Dominique. By day 3, By day 3. After you run your whole house off of your Cybertruck or off of your Tesla for 2 days, on day 3, when you ain't got no power and no electricity. Oh, here's the other thing. They didn't have any power. They didn't have any electricity. They didn't have any water. They didn't have any gas. They didn't have any cell service. They didn't have any like line service, like grandma's phone.
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. They didn't have no sun because it was still cloudy. You can't even charge anything solar.
That too. And hey, they say that people that had iOS 18 were able to get messages out because they had satellite connection, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I just updated, so I saw it.
That's gonna be the next thing. So we have like all the cellular service. Now they're gonna start. Somebody's gonna come up with a mix of cellular and satellite, so that way you're just always using the satellite, almost like how you used to have sat phones, or still do.
Oh no, that. No, that's the thing. Apple's really late to the game on that.
Yeah.
They started it with the Apple Watch 2, where it had the always on sat connection, which is how you can do the things that you can do with waypoints. Waypoints would be digital
breadcrumbs,
locator breadcrumbs, so that you don't get lost in the forest. But yeah, it's pretty dope. 400, yeah, 400. I thought was it 400 feet wide or 400 miles wide? I know it was really,
it was
really
super
wide.
wide. Yeah, it was super wide.
It was really wide. But yeah, so since 400 miles wide, right, and 400 feet tall, ridiculous. Since the debate is on, and I know a lot of people watching debate, and that's great. Thank you for watching while you're watching the debate. But here goes the soapbox, right? There was an infrastructure bill that every Republican that is currently a representative decided to vote against. Well, almost every Republican, 95% of them, right?
Don't they always?
Right. So that infrastructure bill that they voted against is the very bill that's providing what is currently the meager funding for FEMA, the people that are trying to get these people help and restore services.
Yeah.
And is the same bill that is providing money to update roads, bridges, and dams, right? The very things that have crumbled over the last 7 days, that particular bill is what's supposed to update them so that this kind of stuff happens rarely. Right?
Do we know how much that is?
Which is why voting matters. How much what?
How much that bill is worth?
How
much they're giving in aid and whatnot?
How much did they? Okay, so it's my understanding for the FEMA aspect of it, right? So I think the FEMA funding is tied to, I think there's a budget, like appropriations happening right now.
61 billion.
That's not enough. It's not enough.
We just sent 258 billion to Taiwan.
Yeah, that's not enough. Well, okay, so but
like yesterday.
Here's the thing. There has to, for this to pass Congress, there has to be a compromise for enough people to say yes, which means that even if the Democrats or the Republicans, it happens both ways. Even the Democrats start off and say, hey, we want $800 billion for FEMA. Republicans is like, we want $5 billion. We're going to meet in the middle. Republicans is like, we're not going to meet in the middle. We end up with $90 billion. That's how that happened. Like, literally.
Like we spend like 10 times that sending money. Well, not 10 times. I'm exaggerating, but we spend 10 times that much sending to Ukraine on a bi-weekly schedule.
Yeah. So, and just the infrastructure bill or the bipartisan infrastructure law, $1.2 trillion for transportation and infrastructure spending, right?
Mm-hmm.
$550
across
billion,
the entire U.S.
And that's over like that's not like this year. That's like over a span of years. Yeah. So, and I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's needed because we have to modernize our roads, our bridges, our dams. We have to, because if not, we saw what happened. What was that in Baltimore? Right? We saw what happened in Baltimore.
That extra old bridge that just got nicked. It said
almost all of the bridges.
That's North exactly Carolina, what happened.
And in Tennessee, they're gone. Right? Many of the dams, they had to open up their levees because they were failing. So we kind of need that. And if you voted red the last election cycle, the person you voted for said that we don't need it. Right? And I don't have a problem with you voting red, except votes have consequences. Right?
True.
Votes have direct consequences. And if the person that you voted for didn't vote for FEMA funding and you ain't got no power, they're voting for you not to pay people to fix the issue that you're in right now.
And plus, on top of that, there's a pothole. I forget where it is. It's not far from me. It's over there in Smith Corners Boulevard. Smith Corners in North Charlotte.
How big is this pothole? It sounds like your nemesis,
dude. I've never hit it, but that's because I know it's there. It knows I'm there. We have a mutual understanding. They finally put a cone in it, and what's the standard size? What's the standard height of those cones?
Time out. They thought that the answer was to put a cone in a pothole big enough to hold a cone. How far does it go down? Somebody tell me how far it goes down.
So how tall are the cones? Like
it was like 24 inches high.
So if it's 24 inches, so okay, let's put it like this. Assuming that it's 36 inches or so, it has to come up at least. That thing is about at least 10 or 11 inches deep.
36 inches, my bad.
Yeah.
36 inches.
It's about 10 or 11 inches deep.
That's not a pothole. That's a quarry. What are you talking about?
Like, first off, they stuck a cone in it, so that tells you just how the circumference of it, and then it's about 10 inches deep. No. And we need that infrastructure money now. They need to fix that ASAP.
Dude, people,
and I mean, don't just patch it. Tear up that entire road and redo it, please.
I was talking with my wife, who is an architect, and I was like, babe, how they gonna fix I-40? She was like, I don't know. That's how bad it is, bro. That's how bad it is. I don't even, like, how do you even begin to fix a highway they slid off the side of a mountain?
Here's a question for you guys as the foreigner, and I probably know the answer to this already.
I'm a foreigner
Where's
too.
this money coming? Where's the money coming from?
Taxes. What are you talking about? It's all taxes.
Nah, man. There's no way that all that money comes from taxes alone. Zero way.
Okay.
Are we in this country already in debt?
Do we have to go civics? We go civics 101, right?
There's
okay.
No way.
So listen. Yes, the country is in debt, number one. Yes, the country spends more than it brings in at the moment, number two. We all agree with that, okay? We all agree with that. Now, the last bill that was passed, or the last few bills that the Biden administration passed, was passed based on projected tax revenue, corporate and personal tax revenue, right? Because things like your property taxes and a portion of your sales taxes are local, like they're state, right? Like I'm in Texas, like we don't have income taxes, but their property taxes is, bruh.
They got to make it up somehow.
It's out of this. Matter of fact, property taxes, the process around how they determine what your property tax is, what the value of your property is, and what you're going to be taxed is such a fraught situation, and they're so high that there are lawyers. Hold on. That there are lawyers that all they do is fight the evaluation and the taxation of your property. That's how bad it is. At any rate, all of that is local, right? Most people don't know that your tax dollars, like your like the city tax that they have in Charlotte, it's like a 0.5% tax, like your property taxes in Charlotte, all that goes to fund local, either county or city initiatives, right? And it used to be like your property taxes went to fund your school, which is why the better schools are in the better parts of town. That's how it used to be, right? Right. But you got that, you got your income taxes, you got your sales tax, you got the tax, your inheritance tax, you got all the federal taxes roll up to the federal government, and then they disperse that money for all of these bills that they do, right?
Now, imagine
that's generally how that works.
Now, like I said, doing the calculations, if the middle class is the ones that's having to pay majority of the taxes, and the upper percent, the upper people that make more money than we do, way more money than we do.
Yeah, the top 2%.
If they're avoiding taxes, who do you think they're gonna come to get the money because they can't get the 2%?
No. Okay, so and this is where the ideological fight between Democrats and Republicans lie, right? Right, the ideological fight. If you're rich, chances are you have Republican leanings because you want to pay as little taxes as possible. Right. Everybody wants to pay as little taxes as possible. The only difference is rich people use loopholes to pay what's known as an effective tax, which is less, an effective rate, which generally is less than what normal people pay, right? Because there's a sliding scale. If you make like less than, I don't know, $15,000 a year, you really don't pay any income taxes, right? But between like 15 and $250,000, right? Those people pay a larger percent in taxes, period, across the board, than any billionaire anywhere, right?
Yeah, because the Amazon, they pay
any millionaire, any billionaire.
Well, corporate side, like Amazon, they paid like less.
Just
than a few $1,000s in taxes. Like
just personal though. Personal though. Yeah, we're not talking about corporate. We're talking about just personal taxes, right?
Yeah.
And let's just say you make $125,000 per year. Your effective tax rate, I believe, is like 28%, 27, 28%, something like that, right? Somewhere I may be 2 percentage points off, right? Here's the problem. Warren Buffett tells people that his effective tax rate is like 18%. Now, look me in my face and tell me that somebody making $125,000 per year should be paying a larger percent of the pay that they make
hard-earned money
than a guy that's the third richest man on the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
And that's the reason why when we start talking about taxing the rich or the rich paying their fair share, that's what we're talking about. Now, the argument is they make so much money that they create jobs, and it's the jobs that pay the taxes. That's still not them paying taxes. It's still not them paying their fair share. And so when we start talking about tax policy, we start talking about taxing people that make more than $1 million. Matter of fact, if you look at Kamala Harris's tax policy, she says she's not raising taxes on people making less than, I don't know, it's like $500,000 per year. But here's the thing. The really heavy pieces of the tax, which makes your tax rate really high, is only effective after the first $1 million of the money that you make. So, like the 34% that you would be paying on your income as a billionaire only kicks in after you make $1 million. So, if I'm making $900,000 per year, I'm still not paying the same rate as a billionaire. Right. But that. And when they're not paying their fair share, we don't have enough money to fund the government. When companies are not paying their fair share because corporate tax is at an all-time low and it's going to go up, right? We don't have enough money to fund the initiatives that help everybody, right? You got these dirt poor Republicans, right? We don't want nobody taxing us. Well, first of all, you're on welfare. You get farming subsidies.
You don't get taxed anyway.
No. Not even that you don't get taxed. You're on welfare. You're on farm subsidies. Your parents gave you a home that you didn't have to pay inheritance tax on. Like all of these things happen, and you're taking from the system without putting it in. And you wonder why your roads have potholes, why your schools are bad, where there's no investment in the area that you're in. Because ain't nobody.
Yeah,
you voted because you gotta have the money to do this stuff.
When it's largely assumed that if you're a millionaire, billionaire, soon to be trillionaires, you know how to manage your money. So even if you had to pay those taxes, you'd still be rich, filthy rich, wealthy. It wouldn't matter.
That's a tangent. That is a tangent. FEMA needs more money to do what it needs to do to make these people whole. Because you got to think about it like this. We're talking right now about the cost of human life, right? So that astronomical price that people have paid. But once we get done with burying the dead, we still have to build the roads and the bridges that go back there.
The infrastructure.
And even if you don't count that money, all of the homes and all the people that lost everything, all of the people that lost everything, and even if you don't count that, clearing the way and rebuilding these towns so that they can be revenue producing towns again. You gotta think about it. Asheville, Boone, Blowing Rock, these are ski towns.
Yeah, Biltmore, all of that.
Yeah.
Who's coming there now? No, you can't even get there. If I had a small bit, like there are a couple places in Chimney Rock that me and my wife have gone to a couple of times because their food is amazing, right?
Yep.
They can't open up. Even if their restaurant is still standing.
Yeah.
They ain't got no power, no water. Even if they had power and water.
Lake Lore people completely got washed out.
Yeah,
like an entire town got washed out.
Yeah, it's gone.
Which is why when people say climate change isn't real, I go, how come we're having once in 100-year storms every other year? That's the question I want to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, why are the mountains flooding? What is that?
You're missing a larger point too. Aside from power being restored, businesses or the infrastructure itself being rebuilt, with these ports closed, nothing's happening.
That's next.
That's what we call a segue, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's definitely a segue.
He has been practicing. Tell us about the ports, Mr.
Martinez. The ports are closed. That is
Tell me
all.
about the weather. It's raining.
It's raining sideways. No, in all seriousness, midnight, this past midnight, the port workers went on strike.
Mm-hmm.
They are seeking better wages, better benefits. It's actually just the East Coast port workers that are on strike.
All the way down. It's here in Texas too. They talk about it here in Texas too.
I guess I got y'all as the South. Well, anyway,
well, Texas doesn't count itself as the United States, so it's all good.
It's true.
This is true. This is true. However, the West Coast, those ports are still open and still functional. One of the underlying issues here is the fact that the West Coast port workers are receiving higher wages, better benefits, and it's I guess came to light. So now they're feuding with each other. Excuse me. You know what? It's been a long week. I can't code switch no more, right? So listen up now. Yeah, I had this Trinity accent all night tonight. All right. Them workers and them on strike. They say they're done. They finished work. Right?
They out.
The West Coast beefing with the East Coast. All right. But the infrastructure or the port closure affects us all as a whole in terms of goods coming into the country, which range from food, car parts, stuff that you might order from Amazon or Temu, however you pronounce it. All that stuff that comes overseas on boats, shipping containers, are held at the port, which has already been backed up previous from COVID. They're still playing catch up since COVID. This is 4 years we're in COVID now. And they're still playing catch up.
Yep. And
if your package didn't arrive today, I'm here to tell you it might not be here. Yo, I got stuff that I was supposed to be ordering for my wife. I was like, all right, I get paid on the 10th. I'm gonna go ahead and order it like overnight shipping. It'll be here for her birthday, right? Man, I had to order stuff today because I was like, yo, it ain't not gonna be here.
Yeah,
Penguin.
This is
Penguin.
tough.
Wait. Penguin blue waving tear question. That must be a emoticon. That must be a emoticon. And no, we have no idea how they're gonna refix the mudslides. But this port closure.
This is so we're teetering. We've already been teetering on possible. What's the thing called? Recession, and this is possibly the thing to send us over. So historically, what is the Taft-Hartley bill has been used twice in the past to pretty much undo this. But the crazy thing is, the last two times it was used, recession followed immediately, and the last people to use it were Republican presidents. So Biden administration is definitely big on unions and the rest of that. So they can't just willy-nilly say, all right, well, we're going to use this because it goes against what they got going on.
Exactly.
Let me expand it out a little bit bigger for you. I got like 3 things. I'm going to be real fast. Number 1, everything that you see, literally everything that you see behind me and on the screen from all 3 of us came through a port. Via boat, on a truck, to a store, was purchased, and either we purchased it or it was purchased and sent to our house or it was brought here. And I'm not just talking about our clothes. I'm not talking about our electronics. I'm talking about my contacts. I'm talking about Dominique's hat. I'm talking about the light panel behind Jason and the doorway. All of that. Like, we're talking about literally everything, right? And granted, most people don't understand that, right? I had the fortunate experience of yes, I see your hand raised. Go ahead, ask your question. We'll get to it. I had the fortunate experience to work with Atlas Capco during COVID, and my job was to get things from China to America, right?
America.
So, like, I was in charge literally of getting respirators from the manufacturer in China to hospitals in America. That was my job, and I did a darn good job at it. Darn good, right? I like to say I saved lives because I did.
Yes, you did.
But what you learn when you're in shipping and receiving and inventory management with Atlas Capco is that ports and their load time and their ship queue and their work times are all important because everything comes through the ports, right? There are still F-150s, 2023 24 F-150s that are waiting for computer chips from ports because COVID backed up like manufacturing overseas, right? We're talking about Charleston, we're talking about Baltimore, we're talking about Miami, we're talking about Wilmington. All of these are ports. Talking about New York, all these are ports on the East Coast. The union for the East Coast said we're not going to go to work, which means that everything that's in those humongous crate containers on the porch are just there. Norfolk, like all of those are port cities. All the people's like, we ain't going to work, right? And yes, they want higher wages. Yes, they want better benefits, but they also, I was going down the like port rabbit hole, and the biggest, well, there are two very large causes. One large cause is that the ports had agreed 6 years ago, actually 4 years ago, because they have 6-year agreements, right? 4 years ago, they agreed to not implement automation of bringing containers off of the boats, right? 4 years ago. 2 years ago, they decided they were going to do it anyway. And so this has been brewing for a while, right?
As usual.
Yes. And so that's the first thing, because automation means that people will lose jobs because you have robots doing it, and the robots can do the job, but you kind of want people to actually be doing this job. That's number one. Number two, the head, I think it's the ILA, the head of the ILA, the head of the union that's sanctioned this strike is good friends with Donald Trump. He's got pictures of him at Mar-a-Lago. He said already that we gonna do it, which is the reason why I believe that we had the rate cut 2 weeks ago, and they're planning on doing it again, right? This is called old school politics. Biden knew that the ports were going to close because he knew that the union would not come to an agreement with the companies, right? Not for nothing, word on the street is, or word in longshoremen Twitter is that the union was offered like a 50% increase in wages, but the companies would not agree to not implement automation, which is why they still have not agreed to it, right? So you got that, but to stave off this recession, interest rates were lowered. Right. If you remember, it was lowered was it 0.25 or 0.5?
It's like
0.25. Yeah. And they're talking about lowering it again, which will offset some of this, depression that we're headed. But this Taft-Hartley that Dominique was talking about, it's a bill that says that in the event that a critical union or a critical working group in the United States goes on a strike, that the president can force them to get back to work, but he can only force them to get back to work for 90 days at a time. So best case scenario, if he did it, he'd force them back to work now. But Biden is on record saying he don't want to use Taft-Hartley.
But then also, even if he did, that breaks trust in the current administration. And especially now that we're in election time, it breaks trust in all the momentum that Kamala Harris has gained. And it just sends it right back over to where you don't want it, to the Cheeto man.
That's what we're going to call him. Call him Cheeto man?
Cheeto Puff, Mr. Cheetah, however you want to call him.
Man.
But yeah, so it's America's in somewhat of a tough spot, because then also the longer that we let this go on, I think they're estimating losses at like $5 billion a day. And at that point, I think every 2 days, that's a 1% loss in our GDP.
Yeah, no,
we cannot.
It's called sabotage or an October surprise. You guys know the term October surprise?
No.
It's a term that references a political event that happens during an election cycle that knocks one candidate down in the polls, right? Like something. Okay, let's try it another way. Let's say, for instance, there was a undocumented immigrant that committed a mass shooting at a church in the candidate's hometown, right? And it was found that the candidate was aware that this was an illegal immigrant, like an illegal person being here illegally. That would qualify, because that would knock their profile down. This is going to knock Joe Biden's profile down, and by extension Kamala Harris's, because it's the economy, right? Which has been going well until this dude decided,
just so they can say you screwed up. Oh, hey, we got a question from Jane. Why are we in so much debt if we have the capability to print our own currency? Part 2 of the question is, why don't we have the funds available to fix the roads if we are capable of printing our own money?
We don't want to print our own money like that. No. We're printing out. Okay. You want this one?
No, you go for it.
Oh, you can have it.
No, you go for it. I mean, in the short version, we cannot print that money because it has to be tied to something. The more that we print, the more our dollars devalued. Mm-hmm. We are extremely devalued from what we used to be in the first place, because we have to have gold reserves in order to back that up. Had to. That's why we just can't print money. The money the money that they printed during the stimulus checks devalued our dollar quite a bit, because it was just coming off the printer. Just here you go. And yeah, so there, Jane, that's just what I know of it. I'm sure Stephen has a more eloquently prepared retort to it.
Yeah, so I'll be talking about this with my dad, right? So the dollar used to be tied to gold, right? Everybody's heard of Fort Knox, right?
Fortnite, yes, Fortnite.
Fort Knox. Fort Knox, not Fortnite for you Gen Xers. Fort Knox. When I was growing up, it was the place where you wanted to go because you wanted to see all of the gold, because the dollar was tied to literal actual pieces of gold, and they did not print more dollars than they could quantify with literal pieces of gold. And they did that so that there could not ever be inflation, which would cause the dollar to devalue, because the dollar is the world's reserve currency. Reserve currency meaning that everybody transfers everything to dollars, right? Mm-hmm. That's how they set the value for their currency. You start talking about the Mexican peso, it's 500 Mexican pesos to $1. I just made that number up, but it's been that way for forever, right? And the value of the Mexican peso goes down, then it's 600 Mexican pesos to the dollar, right? If the value of the Mexican peso goes up, then it's 200 Mexican pesos to the dollar, mm-hmm. right? That's because the dollar had always been backed with something, and it's the world's reserve currency. Well, in 1971, there was gold standard, small standard. We don't need that anymore. And they stopped backing the dollar with gold. They started backing it with the U.S. economy, mm-hmm. which means that if the U.S. economy is inflating or deflating, then the value of the dollar goes up and goes down, which is why the rest of the world looks at America and goes, please get y'all stuff together, because if your economy, you got to think about it. If your economy is not doing well, then the value of it's kind of hard to calculate. It's really bad. And so, that's why we can't just continue to print money, because if we did, we'd end up like third world countries where, Africa, there's the African dinar. It's 3,000 dinar to the dollar, right? And it fluctuates wildly per day.
Or have you ever tried to convert yen to dollar? It's almost impossible, because it's a million yen is $20.
Bro, dumbly, I'll be just keep the change, dog. Just keep the change, dog. No, sir, it's too much. I'm not doing the math. I'm not doing that.
I don't want to.
Just keep the change. Just keep it.
Okay. But no, I live that, because in Germany the Deutschmark was actually, for every dollar, the Deutschmark, you got 2 of them, mm-hmm. and this was before they switched over to euro, thinking that they said, you know what, we're gonna put all these currencies together and we're gonna beat the dollar, and said, But yeah, it's a very delicate balance. So I mean, we could print money, but it would put us at a very horrible disadvantage in certain situations. So we
and the reason why we don't have the funding is because it has to be appropriated through Congress via the House of Representatives, which does the budget, and then that money has to be sent and accepted by and large by the states, and then it has to be used in that way.
Speaking of the states, did you guys see that Rob DeSantis from Florida? He turned away FEMA money.
What?
They offered money for help and aid, and it was slightly before the storm hit. He said, "No, we're good."
You want to know how normal that is?
I'm pretty sure it's pretty normal because it's Florida.
And I'm not just talking about FEMA money. I'm talking about like Medicaid money, right? I'm talking about dollars for Obamacare,
Right?
like the money that the federal government has set aside for the states. All the states have to do,
No strings attached.
is accept that money and then use it for the purposes that the federal government says you had to use it for, right? Florida, the states, Congress set aside like $10 billion like 4 years ago for Florida, right? After the last hurricane hit.
Mm-hmm.
This is FEMA money set aside for Florida. All you got to do is accept it. You can use it to rebuild Florida. And that Ron DeSantis was like, nah, we don't like big government.
And he's not about you.
He left the $10 billion on the table.
He
could have been rebuilding.
And especially for Florida, Florida is practically Hurricane Alley. Every hurricane that comes through the U.S. on the Atlantic side goes through Florida. It's like I-95. Like,
I'm sorry, did you say 10 billion or million?
Billion.
No, billion.
Yeah, because the damage
I think it was like 9.8. It was like 9.8, but I rounded
up. The stuff that they deal with is the million scale. That's a drop in the bucket. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah, and he just walked away from it.
He just walked.
He was like, we don't need it.
Yeah, idiot.
But it's because it's just like Steven said, like the October surprise. It's for political showmanship gain. You know, it's for some reason they decide, you know what, we're just going to say no, we don't need it. We're really going to show blue that we don't need their help. They're charity. We can rebuild on our own. That's why they got rid of the certain books. That's why their education system's in the toilet. It has a big effect.
Oh, you want to hear something else that's even funny since we're talking about Florida? Did anybody see 60 Minutes on Sunday? I didn't actually see it.
I've been avoiding 60 Minutes since I was a kid.
Here's the beauty of it. You're grown now. You need to watch some 60 Minutes, right?
Here and there.
There was a feature on it talking about the insurance whistleblower in the state of Florida, right? So you remember the last hurricane, people lost all this stuff, and so they was like, I got flood insurance. I'm good, right? The people that could afford it paid the expensive flood insurance because they live in Florida. I'm good. I got flood insurance. So what do you do with your insurance? Something happens to your property that's insured. You file a claim. There is an adjuster. There's a process. There's paperwork. It goes to the approver. They approve it. They cut you a check, right? That's generally how the process works, right? And everybody within that pipeline is supposed to be like on the up and up, right? Because there's paperwork involved, right? And they got tables. You know exactly how much they have an idea of how much you're going to get. Where in Florida, insurance companies have adjusted paperwork to reduce the amount of money that the people that were filing claims were supposed to be getting. Mm-hmm. And they were doing it on a mass scale. Let's try it another way. Say, for instance, you live in Florida and you pay for homeowners insurance for your home, and you pay for the additional addendum for flood because it doesn't come with your standard homeowners insurance, right?
Right.
You pay that for 4 or 5 years. You're paying $300 a month because it's Florida and it's flood insurance. And then a hurricane comes and it rips your roof off. And you file your claim, and the adjuster comes and he looks at it. You get a guy to come out and tell you how much it's going to cost to replace the roof and the damage, right? You got a $300,000 home. It's going to cost you, I don't know, $50,000 to repair everything because it ripped your roof off, right? You file that claim. The adjuster comes out. He looks at it. He writes it up. He sends it to the underwriter. They have them conversations, and they come back. They give you a number. What 60 Minutes uncovered is that between the time that the adjuster comes out and does the evaluation, sends it off to underwriting, so for them to have that conversation to figure out how much they're going to send you, they like update the reports. And instead of you getting $50,000, you get like $8,000.
For my house that's gaining value each year, there's no way.
You were paying $200 a month in flood insurance because the addendum is expensive because it's Florida.
No way.
In Ron DeSantis' state, which he deregulated the insurance market. Deregulated means taking the rules away. Yeah,
of course he did.
There you go. So when you hear people talk about deregulation,
look, I'm gonna fight with Mecklenburg County every year because they keep saying, "Well, your house is now worth this much, and so now you're gonna go up in taxes." And I'm like, okay, that's fine. If I have to file an insurance claim, I better get this. Whatever amount you say right here, I better get that.
Because that's how it's supposed to work,
right?
Unless the companies are not made to follow their own rules, right? This is why I hate when people say I hate big government or I hate regulation. What do you mean? Regulation is there to protect non-millionaires from billion-dollar companies that will take advantage of you. Put it like this: hey man, if you have boar's head meat in your refrigerator, if your refrigerator is still working, you shouldn't have thrown it out. You want to know why? You want to know why I can't get my prosciutto?
Because of the diseases, the maggots,
because there
germs.
There are 3 plants that Boar's Head operates and gets their meats from that have been deregulated, right? Trump era deregulation. And those plants have been selling contaminated meat, and like 14 people have died and hundreds have been sick because the plant was allowed to bring in their own inspectors and create their own inspection schedule. And that's why I can't get my prosciutto. That right there.
You're not mad about a prosciutto, are you?
Hey man, prosciutto and crackers, prosciutto and cheese. Oh my God.
Steve can actually afford a charcuterie board for you guys that don't know. The rest of us, we have Ritz crackers and Lunchables.
First of all, the fact that you can say
because you gotta speak for yourself on that one. We have charcuterie almost every Sunday here. No. I enjoy it a lot.
No charcuterie board. You need to get it together. Man.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need to go get a charcuterie board.
You need to go get one.
Go get a charcuterie board.
Matter of fact, you need to go ahead and figure out how to make one. I was at a friend's house like 2 years ago. We was just chilling, and he brought out meats and like chef's knives and everything. I was like, hey, man, what you doing? He said, I'm making a charcuterie board. I was like, I got rich friends. God,
I made it.
Yo, he was just making one from scratch, and I was like, I've never seen that before. It was
get
dope.
The goat cheese. Like JJ from Good Times, he used to say, get the Kool-Aid.
He had like 7 different kinds of cheese, and I was like,
just
not to get too far off of our topics and stuff.
No. Let's go.
If you're looking for good goat cheese at affordable price, Aldi.
Yeah, Aldi's just all around good. Yeah.
Yes, and their goat cheese, they have a blueberry goat cheese.
Blueberry.
Amazing.
So
amazing.
If I make a fried chicken charcuterie board, that's
well. See, okay, so like our charcuterie boards that we have on Sundays. My wife does.
Dominic almost got you some. Go ahead.
My wife does traditional breakfast. So scrambled eggs, grits, croissants, and then we have the assorted, proteins that go with it, plus the cheese and stuff, the crackers, grapes, strawberries, little
I need
donuts.
to come to your house.
I got rich friends now.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. This is got a full charcuterie spread out this mug.
We do. So we don't like put it on a normal plank. We actually, one of our countertops is just full granite, like it's just big for no reason. We put down wax paper and we put everything on there. What's up?
Hey, for those of you that are counting, notice that he said our countertops was full granite. He just kept going like it was normal. If you're watching this, you wonder why we do this. There's this running gag that we have rich people tastes, right? And so anytime one of us says something that's like tilted towards the richness, we like call it out because it's really, really funny. Like we mess with Dominique and his Teslas. He got like 3 Teslas at his house. Jason likes to go to Disney World like every 6 months.
Every quarter, yeah.
We call that out. I got like $3,000 worth of Apple stuff in my home. Like it's a thing. But Jason just said, first of all, he said plank. That's how I know he was real with the charcuterie board, right? Because it's not it's a plank. You got to have a plank with. And then he was like, my countertop was granite. The whole countertop's granite.
So
wait, what?
Wait, where do you find wax paper?
Restaurant Depot.
Oh, he's got Restaurant Depot money.
That man said, I go to Restaurant Depot for my wax paper. That, you know what? That's number one on the list this week so far. We're going to put that number one on the list. God doggone it.
Wax paper.
That man said, I got a Restaurant Depot account. I walk in, they just give me what I'm looking for. I walk out. I ain't got to pay. They just bill me.
I have a small army here. Yes. We go to Restaurant Depot.
Put it on my tab. We'll settle up next week. It's all good.
If you don't know, you need to know. Restaurant Depot is way better than Sam's, Costco, BJ is better than all of those.
Yo.
You know, we have a Restaurant Depot here, but I've only been to the chef store. That's the closest I've been to it.
Hey, Dominic, I'm about to hit him. Hey, you got a net 30 set up with Restaurant Depot, don't you?
Yep, that's LLC.
For people who don't know what a net 30 account is, it is an account that's basically running credit that allows you to buy stuff, and you have 30 days to settle up with that.
That man got a credit card just for groceries. I gotta love it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Mama, I made it. I got rich friends.
Hey, when you got 5 grown kids, you gotta feed them.
Hey man, you're right, because they will eat you out of house and home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey man, how's your son doing, by the way? How's his wrist?
He had PT this morning, actually.
Okay.
He's in a soft cast, moving
nice.
Fingers, rotating.
Good.
Yeah, he's gonna be back on the field pretty soon.
That's awesome.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, man. Yeah. I am glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Thank you for asking.
So, did you give him a sensu bean?
Nah, he ain't there yet.
Okay.
He hasn't messed up.
I'm sorry.
Yet.
A what, huh?
A sensu bean.
Sensu bean.
From Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball Z? Okay.
Okay, so yeah, Steven is a little bit on the dated side. So,
it came out in 93. Jesus Christ. Started in 89.
Hey man, I'm cool, but there's some areas I'm not that cool at. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You said it twice, and my face was blank. Saying you said it the first time.
I'm sure you have kids that watch anime.
Yes, I do. My Sam watches a lot of it.
I'm pretty sure one of them is seeing Dragon Ball Z. Like you've got to know.
Oh yeah, no, he's watched all of them. He's watched all of them.
He's watched it, but not you.
Hey man, I tried to watch, man. I tried to watch. We will not. You want to know why? I tried to watch it. Man, they be having beef, but don't be never fighting. It'd be like 8 episodes of non-fighting, just trash talk. I'm like, man, if you don't throw a lightning bolt or a fireball or something, there's not time for that.
That's slightly fair, but Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they're like the grandfather of anime.
Yeah.
I know, and I tried. I'm not saying I haven't tried to watch it. What I'm saying is, you can't give me 8 weeks worth of cliffhangers of the same battle. No.
But here's the thing. I hated it back in the day because I had to watch each episode in, each week. But now as an adult, I can watch it straight through. They even look, you know what? I'm not sure if have you ever seen Dragon Ball Abridged on YouTube? Basically, it's the same story, but condensed down, and it is hilarious. It's a funny take on the entire story. It does
Dragon Ball Abridged.
Dragon Ball Abridged, yes.
It's on YouTube?
On YouTube for free.
Note taken. Hey,
it is absolutely hilarious.
Let me hit this comment real quick, and I'm gonna throw a shot. So my aunt Jane Postal, it's amazing. Oh my God, they have very good hummus blends. She's talking about the restaurant store. Now, when you start talking about people that have expensive, like kind of taste, right? So my aunt has ruined my daughter. Let me tell you why. Because they like seafood together. Here's the thing. My daughter comes and asks me for seafood. Now, normally people, when they want seafood, they want like shrimp, or they want, catfish or salmon. No. When my daughter wants seafood, you know what she comes and asks me for?
Red crab.
Sushi. Or we getting ready for a seafood boil last week. My daughter was like, oh, so we're going to have oysters and mussels and clams. I was like,
no, you're going to get these French fries and fried chicken.
You're going to get these crab legs and shrimp and corn. That's what you about to get. And these andouille. That's all. We not. You know how expensive mussels and bruh.
Your little
brother. Go ahead.
Friend.
Yeah. Go ahead. So instead of knocking her for it, you should actually be proud of her for that.
I am proud of her. I am very proud of the fact that she has a very wide seafood palate, right?
Right.
I don't ever knock her for that. Like the fact that
Right.
she knows the kind of sushi that she likes. Like she
Mhm.
sent me, I tell her I'm at HEB. You want something? She'd be like sushi. I'd be like, what kind? She'd be like spicy California roll,
Spicy
There you
California.
go.
Let's
There you
go.
go. But see,
right?
the other thing too is though, not only does she have a wide palette, it's also setting the bar higher for any man that comes into her life.
Feel sorry for that guy.
Okay, so me and my wife have this running joke as well. Well, actually, me and my dad, right?
Mhm.
Because my daughter is, I'm not saying she's spoiled, but what Jason just said.
Right. No,
Because
mine asked for sushi too, and it's annoying.
Mine doesn't.
My daughter asked for sushi. My second youngest, he only eats shrimp, really. And then when we go to like red crab, and he's like, "Are we eating crabs? I want crabs. I want crabs." I'm like, "Dude, you don't. No, no.
dude, ask me
My
how many
daughter asked a
pounds
lot.
of crab legs I cooked this weekend.
How many
pounds did you
pounds
cook?
of crab legs did you cook this weekend, Steven?
14.
Oh my gosh, Jesus.
1 4.
Mm.
Mm.
It was Sam's 16th birthday. He wanted, we had a boil. His girlfriend
What?
came over. We had a boil.
He had a seafood boil for his birthday. Man. Well, you know what? It's probably cheaper than doing much of anything else, so I'll allow it.
I mean, that ain't the only thing, but that was the
True.
thing. 'Cause normally
Yeah.
we either like go out, go skating. He didn't want to do any of that because he don't like big crowds. But okay, fine. We'll do a seafood boil. So I we got crab legs, we got shrimp, we got andouille, we got
And do we
corn.
do?
And
Yeah,
he went
yeah,
to the butcher.
it was good. My aunt gave
He
us
didn't get out the store.
her famous like dip for it. Oh my god,
Mhm.
it was
Hey, wait, can we get a recipe for that dip? I
How
need that
long
dip.
did that process take you? Doing that much seafood?
I mean, it took me an hour and 15 minutes to cook it. Well, okay, correction. It took me almost 2 hours to cook it, but me and my wife, we were working together. Love language, cooking in the kitchen.
Mhm.
It took like an hour for the first 4 pounds, right? An hour for the first 4 pounds and get everything set up. And then we would take some out and we
Mhm.
put more in while we were eating it, right? So
Rotation.
everybody sit down and yeah. So I'd take them out and I bring them, put them on the table, and I put more in, and then we come down to eat, and then I do the same thing. So it was about 2 hours,
Okay.
to go through the 14 pounds.
Jeez.
Hey man, you only turn 16 once.
Clearly.
That's true. That's true. Happy
Interesting.
belated birthday to Sam.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
so now here's my question. Have you taught Sam who comes first in his life?
Beautiful segue. Beautiful segue.
Is it the mom?
Oh, you want me to answer?
Or
I'm
is
not
it the
answering this one.
girlfriend
I'm not stepping.
fiance
I'm not stepping out here
slash
first.
wife?
You're not
All
getting
right.
my back kicked in today.
So
I'll step out first.
go ahead, Jason. Go ahead.
My wife comes first.
Absolutely.
Say it. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
My wife comes first.
I mean, that's biblical.
He's
number
right.
one.
He's right. He's right. He's right. He's right.
Yes, it is biblical. And again, there's a lot of people that disagree with this, but it was explained to me this way, or I broke it down to my son this way. When you're growing up, your mother is the queen of that castle. You're the prince. You leave and get your own kingdom. You become the king of your castle with
Say
your
it
queen.
again. Say it loud for the people in the back.
You can't have two queens.
Right.
Even when they had multiple wives, they would still have one queen. And then I guess they had mistresses, but whatever. But still, there's only one queen. So you have to stick up for your queen. That's your right hand. That's your all and everything right there.
Say it. Say
You
it
get
loud.
sick. That's
Big
the one that
Mo
holds you
Jr.
down. Right. That's the one that also births your legacy.
So In Genesis 2:24, therefore shall a man leave his mother and his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh, which means you're united. But yes, so is the mother. It is the mother should have taken the backseat in this video. Jason sent us a video earlier about this man in a situation where the wife or his significant other got into the front passenger seat. The mother walked up to her and checked her about that and said, "I'm the mother. I should be in the front seat." Blah blah whatever. She got out the car, the fiance or whoever she is, the significant other, and got in her car. Was like, "Well, we'll just
wait. We gotta be clear. Is this the fiance or is this the wife? Is this a significant other or is this the spouse?"
So I would say once you get to fiance level, yeah, she should be in the front seat. Fiance level should be in the front seat. Anything less than that, no. Because I mean, I get it. Part of me is also on the lines of, hey, what do you file on your taxes? If you file single or married, there's no in between. There's no, oh, we go together on your taxes. But fiance, you're getting to that point where yes, you're transitioning. So all right, cool.
I believe when your fiance or girlfriend, that right there should just be a sign of respect as to which one should go first.
Hey, I got a question. This is on topic. How many times were you engaged, Dominique?
Once.
How many times were you engaged, Jason? See, me and Jason have a different outlook on this.
Well, okay.
Look on this, okay?
No, but here's the thing.
Twice.
My view on this is different because Lord rest her soul, my mother passed away in 2009, so I never had to. It never came up for me. But at the same time, I know my mother, and she would have a good relationship with whoever I'm with anyway. To a point where once we got to that level, my mom would either just meet us there, or she'd be like, "All right, cool, nah, y'all go ahead, it's whatever." Or my mom would actually probably sit in the back. She wouldn't. It wouldn't bug her. My mom was classy. She was in the military, but she understands.
She was classy. She was cutesy. She was demure.
Yeah, she was demure. Very demure. Yes, it's stupid. But now, I mean, it never came up for me. That's why when I was looking at that situation, I was like, "Look, man, if that, I'm driving my own car. Both y'all.
Well, see, okay, so to me, you have to make the distinction from where me and Jason sit. Engagement is nice.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been engaged more than once, you understand that it's not. I'm not giving you the privileges until we sign the papers. I'm not giving you the privileges until we sign the paper. My mother's gonna sit in the backseat until we sign the paper. Sorry, that's how it goes.
It's serious though.
No, dead.
I get it. Just because you engage, you not only legally, spiritually, we're not connected yet.
Hey.
You still look just an entitled girlfriend.
Hey. What they spit some rock on your finger, okay? That's all. That's what. No, don't get it twisted. When I got engaged the last time, because I've only been engaged twice, right? When I got engaged last time, like I was serious about it, so we ain't have none of them issues. But I had to learn the hard way that until the papers are signed, you know what I mean? Like, what was I gonna say? Get talk on it, Dominique. You made me forget what I was gonna say. Anyhow,
I didn't do it. But I mean, in that situation, there's something in that video. There's something else that's going on between that mother and the significant other. So I think that would be different in most situations. If you had two people that's willing to talk and hash that out, they would either alternate or one be like, all right, cool, it's whatever. I'll just sit back here. It's not really a big deal.
It's called dysfunction.
Yeah.
Do you believe race was also a factor?
Probably, yeah.
Because
the significant other was of the Caucasian persuasion.
She was what?
He's got bars. He's got bars.
She was white.
Oh,
I said Caucasian persuasion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest of the family was African American. So yeah, it probably was. I mean, I would assume, just historically, but yeah, I would think so. Who knows?
Okay, so your biblical term.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Yeah, no, go, Jay.
Would you have let your girl take the car, or would you have stood there and resolved it before y'all left?
I would have resolved it before we left because I got to come back home to that. Like, we got to figure this out, and that's why when I told you guys, I would have sat them both in the car and said, "Y'all go. I'll take the extra car." Because
no,
no, because it's like, look, I need my peace. Y'all leave me alone. Just y'all work that out.
You have two hot-headed individuals. Sex out the window. You have two hot-headed individuals driving your vehicle.
He said, "Go to her car. We're not mine."
No, not to mention they put the kids in the back seat before all this happened.
Oh yeah, I got to get my babies out of there.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, we're hashing this out in the driveway right here. No, let's go ahead and get everybody on the same page.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, look, we all going to the same place. Like, what?
No, well, okay, dysfunction, right? So your old school Bible terminology for the day. I'm sorry, not Bible terminology. Christian culture terminology. Leave and cleave. Say it with me. Leave and cleave. Okay.
Pastor Steve to walk in the building.
No, this is even before Pastor Steve. Like, this is ingrained into my head, right? So as a man, and this is speaking specifically from manhood in marriage, right? The expectation is that you, like you said, the castle, Jason. When you leave your father's castle with your mother as queen, and you go set up your own kingdom with your wife as queen, you cleave unto that woman, that spouse, that partner, that helpmeet, that other half, that wife. Right. Which means that there's, like Jason said, there's only one queen in your life. The only problem in this day and time, well, there are actually not the only problem, quite a few problems. People don't know how to, like, guys don't leave as much anymore. We stay in the same area, right? And we generally interact in the same ways that we did before we were married, and that's a problem. Right. You also have the dysfunction of households where there are children and there's no marriage to predate them, or there is no stable parenting situation that would facilitate a healthy transfer of someone from a teenager to a married person, or an adult to a married person, right? All that plays into effect, right? Can't tell how many single husbands that were children of single mothers that have a mother that don't know how to be a mother and not the wife of their child.
Hey, look, I've always judged. I've always been guilty of this. I've judged some people on who's pumping the gas and who's sitting in the car. If I pull up to the gas station,
wait.
Do you remember what a gas station is?
Gas no more. What are you talking about this?
Hey, I still gotta go get my snacks and lottery tickets. Okay.
Oh, so you just pull up to snicker and sneer at the gas pumping general public?
Yeah.
See, that's what we're talking about. That's what we talk about. That's what we talk about.
How dare you?
What we talking about?
But yeah, even in college, I've always been, for me personally, like, if my girlfriend, I don't care if I'm in the passenger seat or driver's seat, whatever, I'm getting out and pumping the gas. That's just, even with my mother, I did that. Like, we went to the gas station, she sat in the car, I pumped the gas.
Yeah.
It still ticks me off that you have two able-bodied people, one man, one woman, and the man's in the passenger seat while the woman gets out the car and pumps the gas. I'm like, are you serious? Like, if you don't get your crazy, get out the car.
But you can't measure the depth of people's dysfunction. That could be a man that grew up in a household without a man. He don't know that he's supposed to pump the gas. He doesn't know that he's supposed to be in the masculine role in that situation. If you subscribe to the idea that pumping gas in a situation where there's a man and a woman in a car is a masculine role for whatever reasons, right? And then you have hyper independent women who are challenged in remaining in their feminine role if you ascribe to the idea that pumping gas is a masculine thing to do in a car where there's a man and a woman, right? You got hyper independent.
Go finish. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. And so what you have is you can't measure the depth of this dysfunction. They might have had an argument, and he was like, "You gonna pump your own gas," which is kind of a punk thing to do. You know what I mean? Or he may not have no money. She's like, "I'm paying for it. I'm pumping my own gas anyway." Like, there's a lot of
the money thing. You're right, but the money thing is like, all right, give me the money. I will still pump the gas. Give me the card, regardless. You can pay for it, but I'm going to pump the gas.
Hey, I'm just letting you know, there's a lot of dysfunction out there, and it's hard to without proper analysis. It's hard to ascertain the nature of said dysfunction.
I mean, it's the same way when you're walking down the street and you got one side where's like the wall of the buildings, but then the other side is the street where cars drive, and you got the woman
supposed to be on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. You got the woman on the outside. It's stuff like that. I'm just like,
So let me ask you this: you pull up to the pump, your wife hops out. Do you tell her no?
Yes. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, good. What other times do you tell her no, though? Outside of
please talk to us all. Please talk to us all. We would love to hear your musings.
What? Steven, go ahead.
Oh no! Don't be trying to pass the ball. There's no lateral. There's no lateral. This is not a handoff.
I gotta go get.
We're not running a jet sweep. No, it's not a screen pass. You got the ball.
But now it's taking out trash.
Okay.
She cannot take out the trash.
Agreed.
Okay.
She does not reach for a door handle.
Agreed.
She does not pull her own chair out. Well, if she's at home alone, yeah, sure, do you think? Or if we're out, if we're out, like
Dominique's wife be standing at the table waiting on this dude to get home so that he can pull the chair out. I wish he would hurry up and get home. I really want to sit down. But he's forbidding me from touching the chair. What am I to do?
Oh goodness. I do the laundry. She does her own, but I do everybody else's. Well, except for the 13-year-old, he's on his own at this point.
Well, he's got teen funk, so he should be doing it all.
You're right. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's just certain things that I just do like naturally at this point where I don't.
Well, but see, hold on. The question wasn't what things do you do in your relationship with your wife from a male perspective. The question was, how often do you tell your wife no?
Depends on how crazy the idea is.
Do you physically say the word no? Because I found like I feel like the word no for women is like sunlight for vampires.
It's not often. Let's put it like this. It's really not often.
It don't go well together. Like,
yeah,
you're like no.
It's like oil and water.
It doesn't go together. You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out.
Now, when I do tell her no, she's like, "Did you?
Yo,
how dare you?
Yo. Let me tell you why I put this down. And my wife, we are out in 18 minutes in, so she might be listening. She might not. Right?
I don't know.
So,
nah, she listening. It's
she listening.
Yeah, she probably is.
Okay. All right. So
she ain't gonna get you.
I'm gonna tell the story anyway. It can't get no worse, right? So my wife was on the computer the other day, and she was doing some shopping, right, for some jewelry, right. And it wasn't like really, it was like fashion jewelry, right? And she does that from time to time. And she was about to ask, she's like, honey, I walked around looking at it. I said, no. And I walked away. Man, why? I said, no. And I walked away. I don't know what was going on in my life at the time when I said that like that. I don't know what I was thinking. But I just said no and I walked away. And I've been dealing with the repercussions ever since. Like, it's been a rough 48 hours. I know the people in North Carolina have been, hiding from mudslides and water and dams and stuff. But I think I done had it rough for the last 48 hours. I said no, dude, completely wrong way, completely thoughtlessly, right? I mean,
why do they want to listen either? Like, you can tell them no with certain things. They be like, I'm gonna do it anyway. You're like,
everybody look at, first of all, that's the thing. That's the thing, Dominique. That's the thing. They go, half the time they're still gonna do it anyway. Like it's not like why are you even mad at me? Because why are you even mad at me for telling you no when you just gonna go to your account, take your money, and do the thing that you want to do anyway? Well, why we even gotta go through this stress?
Why is this a thing?
Because they want our justification to make the purchase.
I don't ask for justification. I make the purchase.
And that okay. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm a grown man.
How long have you been married? Still single digits, right?
No, actually, it's like 10 years.
He's 10. He's 10 this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's 10 this year.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that he makes it. Hoping that he makes it to 20 because he's talking like he want to get stabbed in his sleep. God,
hey, 10 years. That's why I can say that stuff. You know, I done made it. If you in year, less than 6, nah, man, you just sit down somewhere. I can take some chances.
She's not listening to the podcast right now.
She watched it a few days later, and then she'll address it. And I'm like, you know what? That was like 2 days ago. Shut up.
Dead man walking the mile, walking the million mile.
Please don't hurt
me. Steve, how many years do you have under your belt?
Oh man, 18. It'll be 19 this coming year. Yeah. Oh, I know.
18.
It's crazy. Like in a minute,
a lifetime.
Yeah, in a minute, I'm gonna be married longer than I was single. Actually, technically speaking. Because we ain't started dating I ain't started dating until I was 16. I have been married longer than I've been single.
Interesting.
And it's crazy to think about. Which is
why.
What was that?
You started dating at 16?
Yeah, I had a car when I was 16. What are you talking about?
Okay, I was just curious.
I mean, what do you think they do in a husky? What? Yeah, we go to the movies. What are you talking about? Jason, I got you. I got you.
Stupid. Start dating at 16.
But no.
Well, I don't know. I guess that's a question for another day. But yeah, like dating. When did everybody start dating? That's
wow. No, it's crazy because we're at the point where we've been with each other longer than we've been adults, without each other. So we don't know life without each other. It's crazy. Like
you guys are codependent now. You're symbiotic.
Highly, and it's crazy. Which is why when I be like no, it's like once a year. I say no like once a year. When I say it has to be for a good reason. And I said no because I'm hoarding money trying to do this birthday thing. It's a birthday. She turns. I was gonna say if I say it or not. She turns 40. She turns 40 in October, right? At the end of this month.
And he said it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's okay. I ain't afraid. I'm grown. She grown too. And 40 looks good on her. Let's be honest. 40 looks good on her. Now, so like I got all these gifts. Like I said earlier, I got these gifts that I'm ordering. Like I ordered one today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ordering one tomorrow, and I'm ordering one on Friday. Mm-hmm. Like these gifts that will be delivered, hopefully, like the one that I'm ordering tomorrow and the one I'm ordering Friday, I know will get here because I know they are in stock. I've already checked the stocks on them. So they're going to be here. But like they have to be really good gifts because it's 40. You only turn 40 once. I got her a Cadillac when she turned 35. Yes.
Ooh, Jesus.
And you're getting a gift on Saturday as well.
What do you mean?
For exposing her age on public platform here. You have to add another one.
Look, age is only a bad thing if you're not happy in your age. She's happy in her age. She looks good. She got a good job. She looks good. She ain't tripping no more like she, was when she was younger and thinking that she wasn't, who she is. Like she's starting to really understand how capable she is. Like, and it's really very sexy. Like she's really starting to understand just how capable and accomplished that she is. And I go, Man, I see why people like 40-year-olds now. Cause
It's not Thursday, is it? It's
it
only
might be
Tuesday.
after this. Well, okay. See, here's the thing. It could have been Thursday. It could have been Thursday today, but I messed up and I said no on Sunday. So so it might not be Thursday for another couple of days.
Hmm.
Um, no. But yeah, dude, 10 years. Jace, how long you been married? 16 years? 15 years?
13.
13 years?
Going on 14. Going on 14. Yeah.
Teenager. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Do you even remember what life was like before you got married?
I was actually thinking about that the other day. Yeah. 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 Before marriage, before kids. Yeah.
I don't remember what life was like before kids. I don't. I don't. I don't. I mean, I remember what it was, but what did I do with all my time? Jason, don't start. don't don't start today. Don't start. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I have an idea.
Right.
That's how I got 3 kids. Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, just it's
You
Yeah, it
probably
was
worked a
experience.
lot.
no, it was crazy. It was crazy when somebody asked me, it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
just like how Steven asked, yeah, how long you been married? I'm like, oh man, yeah, it's been 10 years, Jesus. And even like my in-laws and all that, when they ask, I'm like, I don't, I kind of don't remember life without you guys. Like,
Yeah.
I've been around so long and whatnot. It's like, I don't know.
I
I mean,
remember a lot of the positive, the I guess I remember a lot of the financial savings before having a wife and kids.
Man,
yeah.
I put like, look, on my salary as a single guy, I only need, I don't know, a third of it. I would, man. I'd have a ton of land, a manufactured home on a little bit of it. Just, I don't need much. Wouldn't be much furniture in there.
Would you have a house or would you just do a condo so you don't have to worry about no yard work or nothing?
Mm-mm. If I knew then what I know now,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been buying land all over Charlotte just to do it.
Agreed.
Just to
Yeah.
do it. Especially with the way it is now. Somebody would came for land for whatever land I would have bought eventually and offered me a buttload of money, and I'd have been like, all right, cool.
I would have got a lot of land and built a barn dominium.
Yeah.
When it was cheap.
Yeah.
When it was
When
cheap.
it was cheap.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dude,
Yeah,
but
I don't know what I do with an RV garage, but I need it.
I know exactly what I would do. But no, here's the question. Right? We've been with our spouses for quite some time, right? Quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
which is a
No, they've
great
been
thing.
with us for quite some time. Don't do that.
You stay antagonizing. I'm not going with you on that one. What I was gonna say was, right? How do we or how do you balance the life that you have with work and kids and wife, right? And family, right? Because and any of the other things that you like. How do you balance that? How do you work that in the current
Ah,
state of your relationships?
yeah, I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. Honestly, it's in a constant state of flux at times. Because right now, my daughter and her softball schedule, she's on 3 different teams, so our life pretty much centers around that.
Mm,
And then when the
yeah,
season's up, we kind of get that back, and it's like, okay, but we've got 4 kids, so it's like 13, 8, 4, and 2. 13-year-old man, he's getting ready to go to high school next year, but he's pretty much on autopilot. So he kind of does his thing. He lets us know when his games are. We show up, and then now we got some football trainer that he goes to, but still we drop him off, pick him up, just keep him moving. With my daughter, we haven't hit a stride yet. I mean, like I said, she's on 3 teams, which is a little excessive. So next time around, probably 2 teams at most. But then also we have a 4 and a 2-year-old coming up. So their activities aren't factored in either. So we're getting to a point where between me and my wife, it's like, all right, she's got her thing. And our 4-year-old, when he becomes of age to really play a lot more sports, he has his thing. We're pretty much going to go our separate ways. And then after it's done, come back together. All right, so how'd you do? All right, cool. All right, hey, all right, nice. And then, my 13-year-old, he's going to be driving soon. So that's a whole nother dynamic, Basically be 3 cars just leaving the driveway in the morning.
3 Teslas.
He's got to make it past the trial period first, so might be some hoopty. I don't know.
Okay, you, me, Steven, and all of our viewers all know he's getting a Tesla.
Thank you. Why is Dominique even tripping? You know what? Dominique's on the. I want to build character. I want to give him a car. He's gonna have to figure out how many gallons you got left. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. Hey.
And honestly, I keep saying no, but I think my wife's gonna do it anyway. She's gonna veto what I have planned and do what you guys are saying.
We know. Look,
I'm trying to be strong in the fight.
I mean, it's.
I'm holding my ground right now.
Jason is horse laughing you right now.
We're married men. There is no fight. We lost.
There's just levels of concession. There's just levels of concession within the battle. Okay.
We lost.
That's true.
We lost. Hey, look at it this way.
Hey, we won. We talking about we won, right? We won. Our wives are the greatest good we gonna ever have. We won the battle. What you talking about?
That's how you motivate yourself?
I really would like for it to be Thursday. I'm trying to dig my way out of this hole. No, I believe it. Look, hey, okay, so real talk. I think about it from time to time, and I think about it from time to time, and I go, I still do it the way that I did it, right? Mm-hmm. I still do it exact way that I did with the person I did it with. Like I made the right decision, and even with the bad stuff, because we talked about the bad stuff earlier a little bit, right?
Right.
I still do it exact same. I still do the exact same way. And I'm fine with it because I'm fine with where we are, right? But that whole balance thing, we've gotten to the point now, right? We only have one child that needs constant supervision so that he doesn't kill himself. Our 8-year-old, he's growing out of it, but right now he's still in the, you got to watch him or,
I forgot you got an 8-year-old.
Yeah, so we're able to take more time to ourselves. Like our kids are now old enough to stay at home with my oldest and us go have dinner or something. Which
right,
we couldn't even have dreamed of that years ago. Like it's so far away. Mm-hmm. But now we can. Like we can go down the street and go watch a movie at the theater. Right, theater's like 3 miles away, but we can go do that and leave them at home for 2 hours. Right. And it's like, man, and so we do that from time to time. We try to schedule trips. We take days off where we do nothing but hang out. And here's the funny part. We sit across from each other because she works from home too. Like we're staring at each other through our 4 screens all day long, right? But there's nothing like actual time that you're spending that's not parental time or work time or house chore time or any of that, where you're just going out and we're having time with each other, right? And so we try to do that. We're trying to do that more often because you have to do it. If you don't, there's my father taught me this, like, I don't know, 8 years ago when he was talking about retiring, right? And granted, I'm 40, I'm 45. My parents have been married for almost 50 years now. My dad said something to me, I was like, Dad. He was like, man, I can't wait to retire. Right? This is before he retired. He's like, I can't wait to retire. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, all right, I get it. Yeah. So what you gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna learn my wife. We just gonna spend time together. And I'm going, y'all been at that point. I was like, y'all been together 40 years. What you mean learn your wife? Mm-hmm. It was like the conversations that we haven't had. Like the things that we have to talk about. We just sit and talk. And I was like, so what you telling me is, even after 40 years, there's still stuff to talk about? My guy, I thought by then you would know, but when you think about it, no. Like there's a
No, yeah,
lifetime worth of interaction and learning and connection and communication that has to happen so that you know your spouse. Oh, so that you know your spouse in the moment that you're in,
yeah,
right? People
Mhm.
have
yeah,
they get married and they see their spouse as the person that they married the day that they married them, right?
Mhm.
Um, but that's not the same person,
mm-mm.
right? And you have to be up to date on the person that your spouse is and love that person, right? You love the person that they were, but you gotta have these conversations. You gotta really sit down and talk about heavy stuff and light stuff right now so that you can know who this person is. A
Yeah.
prime example, I like seltzer water now. I have tonic water in my home. Now, you asked me 10 years ago whether or not that would have happened.
What
I
is
would have
this,
looked at you
40s?
cross-eyed, right? But I love seltzer water. I love seltzer water. Matter of fact, man, I just put 3 cans.
I'm
Yes,
curious
Jason.
now.
Yes, Jason.
I agree.
Bruh. When as you grow older, you like your taste and your proclivities change. I was so dead set against seltzer water. Then again, I was younger and I was drinking Coca-Cola a lot, which I'm not doing anymore. But seltzer water is good.
It is.
It's really, really, really good. And instead of taking Tums, you can drink seltzer water or tonic water.
Yes.
It's so anyhow. But I'm different than I was then. She's different than she was then. And so sometimes we just sit down and have conversations. We go for a long drive, or like today, we go for a bike ride. Oh, I went on a 5 mile bike ride today.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And we just talk. Just talk. Doesn't matter what about, just talk.
I actually got a bubbly machine for my birthday. That's here.
Nice.
Which
Game
which
changer.
one of the which bubbly machine?
I'll tell you after the podcast because it's downstairs.
Okay, so the funny part is, okay, so a couple years ago, me and my wife bought a Bartesian.
Ooh.
You
That
bought a what? I'm sorry.
A Bartesian.
Yes.
Ooh.
Bought a Bartesian,
Oh, yes.
right? Right. But now, you know what I'm looking at buying? A bubbly machine. Because if you're telling me I can make my own, then it's very likely that I do that. It's nothing like friends to put you on to high-tech devices, right? I'm sorry. Correction. Nothing like, you know what? I looked at that and I was like, what kind of person buys a soda stream?
It's worth it.
Then I went out to the patio and I looked at my smoker, which uses pellets and not actual wood. And I was like, I'm the kind of person that buys it.
He is me.
He is me. I am him. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, yeah, man.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Sensational.
I will chime in. Yes, your wife comes first. Point blank. Period. That's how it goes. Now, if you're smart, you set the stage so that you don't have those kinds of issues, or that you reduce those kinds of issues, and you help walk both your wife and your mother through to what this relationship looks like. And if your mother is good to your wife and your wife is good to your mother, then you don't have these problems, or at least if they attempt it, because sometimes communication, they don't be on the same page. But as long as they try, then those situations can work themselves out without altercation or any kind of arguing and stuff like that. So,
Or
but
you
your
take
wife,
the approach of the innocent bystander always gets hurt.
explain.
If the mother-in-law and the wife have an issue, why am I going to get in the middle of that? Because I'm going to be the one that gets stabbed.
Do you ever want it to be Thursday? You sound like someone that has taken Thursday off the calendar. You just gonna let them do this?
Where did the knife come from?
Just like I said, the innocent bystander is always the one that gets hurt.
Oh my gosh!
In an altercation, I don't want to be the person that's hurt. So I just, hey, you guys go ahead, do your thing. I'm just gonna.
Hey, while we're here, can we give shout outs to our mothers-in-law?
Absolutely.
Can we give shout out? Because I have an amazing mother-in-law. Let me say that. I have an amazing mother. I have an amazing wife. I also have an amazing mother-in-law.
Where did the stereotype come from that you're supposed to not like your mother-in-law?
People that don't know how to talk to women.
and how does that go over, especially for wedding purposes? Like, are you serious? That doesn't make sense to me.
Hey man, hey.
But yeah. Shout out to our mother-in-laws, Mama Jessica. I love you. I love you.
Saying, man, hey.
I miss mine.
That daughter you gave me though, you should have warned me though. But I love you.
Yo, my wife's father. The day that I met her, the day I met him, right? Because we went down. I know I was going to propose that. I already given her a promise ring.
Mm-hmm.
Went down, talked to what would be my father-in-law, right? I took him, we were in the house, went downstairs, go meet his father, met his father, and I asked him on the way, it's like, listen, I'm in love with your daughter. Okay. I'm going to marry her. I'm going to make her my wife. And you know what he looked at me and said?
She's your problem now.
No. He said, we don't have a return policy here.
That's what my father told me.
We don't have
no
return.
taxi backsies.
She's yours now.
She's yours.
She's yours now. So he looked me dead in my face and look, and then he tapped me on my shoulder and he walked up the stairs and walked away. I was like, wait, what?
Hold on, time out. Look, he went upstairs, called his homies, like, drinks on me. My daughter.
Hey.
This idiot is gonna marry my daughter. Let's go.
Hey, the boy just came and he said he wanted to marry her. We going out tonight.
She's off my tab.
We going out tonight. I cut the credit card off and everything. We going out tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. It was so funny.
So question. How are we gonna handle that when our daughters, when the time comes for our daughters?
I'm gonna say the exact same thing my father-in-law said. What you talking about? What you talking about? I'm gonna say the exact same thing.
I'm not gonna say the same thing. I'm going to give a fair warning, and it's pretty much going to be, you break her heart, I break your heart. No, you break her heart emotionally, I will break your heart physically.
Look at his face. Oh my god.
Yo, he hit him with that Denzel from Remember the Titans. Like, you drop the pass, you run a mile. You fumble my ball, I will break my foot up in your John Brown hind parts, and then you will run a mile.
Jason got real for a second. We all having fun and jokes. Jason is real.
I don't play with my girls.
I mean, I'm there with you. Look, we rehearsed. Me and my brothers and my son have rehearsed Bad Boys 2. We have rehearsed it.
Man.
The entire.
If Willie comes to the door, I ain't gonna lie, that's a scary dude. If he really wanted to be.
Yeah, but not when he was in high school. Not when when they were younger, right? Mm-hmm. Also, I've also rehearsed Jules from Pulp Fiction. I will strike thee down with great vengeance and furious anger. Right? I've rehearsed that. I've also rehearsed. I heard this in the movie. You better be good to her, because whatever you do to her, I'm gonna do to you.
Jesus Christ!
So I have it all in my repertoire. I didn't know we were going there tonight. I wasn't gonna pull it out, but I mean, I've got it. I've got it in there.
I was thinking more of the lines of Dens of Thieves.
Oh yeah,
pull them in the garage.
Yeah,
I
was thinking
that was a good one.
I was possibly intentionally dropping my weapon. It's like, oh, my bad. Excuse me. Just gonna put that back. You don't want to see that.
Yeah,
then he knows, to expect that you have something. You surprise him with the unknown. He'll never know.
It's true.
Look, man,
it's true.
Keep him guessing.
Hey, I got a whole list of them. Hey,
she's not home by 10 o'clock. Ain't gonna be no tonight. All right. I'm locked, loaded, and hunting your down.
Hey, Jason, I got one for you. You're either going to be a good husband or you're going to be a dead husband. It's your choice.
Oh yeah, of course.
I got a whole list of them. I got a notepad. They're ready.
Of course. Yo,
Good
either you're gonna be a loving husband,
Yeah.
or she'll be a widow.
Yeah.
That's simple.
You look,
Those are the only two
either you're gonna either gonna love her like Christ loved the church, or you can tell Christ yourself why you didn't. I got a list of them. A list of them. I mean,
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Look, I'm so happy that God only gave me one daughter, because that's all I can handle is one daughter.
She's going to be the love of your life. Period.
Absolutely.
Because the moment that she's not, there's no reason for you to live after that.
I should not. It's like I should not get a call in the middle of the night or whenever. Period. Saying that such and such is going on, because at that point, all reasons lost.
I thought you had 2 daughters.
I only have one, thank God. My daughter, my 8-year-old, and my 2-year-old, they are copy and paste, just different genders. When they were born, they look exactly the same.
Not Control C, Control V.
Copy, paste,
Bruh.
different gender. Here you go.
Bruh.
He looks just like her at every stage.
Yeah.
But you have an older daughter.
Wait a minute, how old's your daughter? Your daughter's 11, right?
My daughter's 8.
The one that's in softball.
Mm-hmm. She's 8.
Oh yeah, you got some time to work on yours then. You got some time to work on yours then. You got some time.
8-year-old is in
3 different teams. She you look at her, she's a very nice girl, but you put her on the softball field, she's a monster.
I thought it was a teenager.
Mm-mm. He's in football.
Mm-mm.
Oh, 8 years old
Wow.
on 3 different teams.
Dominique trying to get that NIL money for softball. What you talking about?
Clearly.
You gotta start her now. So by the time she gets to college age, hey, you can go where you want. Your NIL money paid for it. Your scholarship money, whatever you want to do. Bye.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, she's a very nice girl off the field. On the field,
Yeah, that's what's up.
Steven, what are you watching?
Not much right now, actually. I started the Penguin on HBO Max.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. It's just really okay. You remember how I said For All Mankind was really long because there are no commercials and it's like 70 minutes per episode. Penguin's like that. It's like I think it's like 61 minutes for the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It's just slow. Like it's a long 61 minutes, but it's really Colin Farrell really he has on the penguin suit and he really folds into that character.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Nice.
I'm watching Fight Night. Black exploitation kind of situation. Kevin Hart, Samuel Jackson, Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson. I'm watching that. I'm waiting on the next episode. Are they doing the electric slide because they won the game? They are so unserious, but that is cool as crap. Nafisa Collier is a baller. Sorry, squirrel.
Squirrel.
What else? I don't know. Those are the 2 things that I'm watching.
King?
Say again?
You been watching Tulsa King?
No, is that okay? That's with Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yeah.
Is it good? How good is it? Because I got beef to pick with him.
I hear it's actually really good.
It's very good.
I hear it's really good.
Yeah, it's different from his traditional genre of action hero type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it's more down to earth, really.
Very much down to earth. Obviously more based off of like mob life after prison.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth something watching. They are on season 2, episode 3 and 4, I believe just came out.
So I can binge the first season. Bet.
Yes, and it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Nice.
Bet. Dominique, what are you watching?
I am between rewatching House. Also, I am on season 3 of The Chosen. And then my friends really want me to watch Lord of the Rings because I've never seen Lord of the Rings like ever.
Me neither.
They want you guys get a pass,
and not the regular Lord of the Rings. They want me to watch the extended cut, which is like 3 hours and 48 minutes.
Dominique, have you seen Avatar?
Yes, all of them. I love them.
Okay, so you know how expensive Avatar is?
Yeah.
Okay. Lord of the Rings is like it's as expensive of a world building film as Avatar is.
Yeah, the first one I'm torn between because it didn't start the way that I thought it would.
Which one? You talking about Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm already like 2 hours and 20 minutes into that first one, and I'm just like, what?
You have to go. First of all, you have to go in blind, right? And I say that as someone that paid to watch the first one in the movie theater and walked out and didn't watch it again until my wife made me watch it because it's her favorite movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've got the 10, the 10 box set one, the $250 Blu-ray set. I have that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been weird because, like Harry Potter, I'll put it like this. Harry Potter, same way. I watched bits and pieces of it. I never actually sat and watched it from start to finish from like each of them.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But then I thought about it. I was like, I just really watched like 10 hours worth of stuff about some old dude that had a beef with this kid.
Yes.
Because he couldn't love his mother.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
That's Harry Potter condensed, literally. I'm just like, are you serious? But
Harry Potter is actually very similar to Star Wars.
Yeah, practically. Yes.
Same mommy issues kind of situation. Mommy/daddy issues. Yeah.
Raised by the uncle.
Like, man. So So I'm assuming I'm gonna get the same kind of thing out of Lord of the Rings. But yeah, my friends put the extended cut on there. So
No, you're not. It's not. Trust me. It's when it came out, and even now, it's different. I raised Avatar because Avatar is kind of the same way, kind of the same. It's the same kind of atmosphere, right? This world that it's building, it's really, really big. It's really, really big. And the first one, you don't get to see how big it is, but they're trying to expose you to and sell you on what the journey is going to be.
Gotcha.
And then they show you how big the world is. Trust me, however big it feels like now, it's 4 times as big as it feels, and
That's
it's 4 times better. Yeah.
Well, folks, it was a great episode. We thank you all for tuning in to Fear the Hive. We are again episode 51. We are your lovely hosts, Dom, Steven, and JJ, the one and only. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please
emphasis on the comment. Try to get us to, a couple thousand. And have a beautiful week ahead. Have a good night.